Welcome to the BFF Report. I'm your host, Mike B.A.K. Phony, and today we're going to be taking a look at Valve's Dota 2. Yes, sirree. You guys remember this artwork that was posted like 20 years ago, and you guys are like, oh my god, we're freaking out right now. And then 20 years later, they're like, hey, we finally have a beta. Well, I am in it, and I may be the least deserving player to get into beta. I'm definitely the most worthy media representative. Kind of, not really. Okay, let's take a look. So the first thing we're gonna go ahead and do is kind of go through the launcher. Same thing we do with every MOBA that I cover on this show, right? So I could go through and show you guys just a couple of the things, the settings and stuff, the way you get into games, etc., etc. First off, we see that there's the main section here. Oh, by the way, the pen's back because the pen is awesome. And we see we got update notes, feedback, placeholder, right? Then we have like news. We click around through the news if we wanted to, if we were really concerned about various news that's going on. Then we have on the left-hand side here, we have matchmaking. So this is cool. I can actually go through and say, I want to play with the Europe guys. I want to play with the 1 Asian guy and the 39 North Americans, right? This kind of allows you to expand out the number of people that you want to play with. Of course, 32, 1, and 39 is not 100% accurate because you see right here, there's 471 players that are online. Now, I don't know if that is 471 people are logged into the game, but maybe they don't have these checked. That might be it, right? Which, again, makes these numbers kind of weird. Or what? I have no idea. But we look down in the lower left corner, we have the profile page, right? So you can see I lost one game, which I maybe it just stopped counting because I'm pretty sure I lost more than that. On the right-hand side, we have top live matches, and top live matches is sick, and I will show you just how amazing that is in just a moment. Then we're gonna go ahead and click through. We have updates, okay, boring. We have play. Play is pretty self-explanatory. We have matchmaking, then we have practice. In practice, we can click on create a lobby. You can set a password back there if you guys saw it, and then we go to game setup, and you see here we have enable cheats. I don't know what those do just yet, and we have fill empty slots with bots. So this is just a practice game. This is for people like me who are like really bad at this game, and you need to spell game right. You need to practice some. So we have all pick, and then we have captain's mode, right? So you have different things you can select here. And then I want to say bam, and then I click start game, and what's going to happen is actually going to go through a find server process, which takes just 2.5 seconds. Really doesn't take any time at all because you're playing against bots. And then it's going to go through and oh, there we go. Okay, so we see here that we have the ability to choose from a ton of different heroes, all base heroes. Just click through some of these. It's just, obviously they're separated by, what role they would play. But there is just a ton. And in all pick mode, you can pick whatever you want. Doesn't matter what faction you are. I'm not gonna pick anything because we have to go back and look at some other stuff. But we will come back to this and I will show you guys around the UI actually in the game. So back here at the lobby, you see there's a couple things that are missing, coming soon, tournament and tutorial, okay? Obviously they're not in yet. If I go to matchmaking here, I click on find match and it's going to pop up a little window. Oh, it says I have to select by region. So this is going back to the today thing where I had nothing selected. So now if I select these, I have these 40 people that I could pick from. I'm assuming again that these numbers are accurate. And then I go to play and then I click on matchmaking, click find match, and then it's gonna go through a process of selecting something. Last night this took forever because I was playing it super late. And you can even see that the search range bar, which I don't know if that's search range for skill or search range for distance, right? Where it's gonna look at NA first, then it's gonna go out further, and then it's gonna go out further. I don't know what I'm drawing here. Oh, they're arrows. Okay, cool. I guess that makes sense. Now, this may be kind of confusing to some of you, but what you're looking at here is actually not me playing. This is spectator mode, and this is spectator mode from the hero's point of view, from the player's perspective. So I'm looking at his camera movements, that is his mouse walking around there, clicking on things. This is all him. I can see everything that he's doing. When he pops open the shop to buy stuff, I can see what he's buying. I can see what he's thinking about because he's moving his mouse over different items like, what should I buy? Actually, that's me. He probably just goes in there, clicks on what he buys because he obviously probably knows what he's doing more so than I do. Or I could be wrong. This guy over here seems to be not sure what he wants to buy. Oh, now he's moving into battle without buying anything. He has 225 gold and there's absolutely nothing he's going to buy with that money. Oh my gosh, he is in so much trouble because there is really not much you can buy for 225 gold. This is the highlight of my casting career right here, guys. Anyways, this spectator mode is pretty much the shit. Really, there's no other way to put it. League of Legends has put something in very similar, right? Which is great because League of Legends is a huge game and they need to put it in. But Dota has its own really hardcore following, which is one of the reasons why I'm not really playing that much during this episode. And these guys, they really, really, really love Dota. They don't love League of Legends so much, if that makes any sense. This is why when I was streaming this the other night in chat room on my stream, man, like, people were going at it they're at each other's throats. It was completely ridiculous. Who cares if you like Heroes of New Earth, Dota 2, Dota, or League of Legends, nobody gives a crap. Even though they're in the same genre, there's enough differences between the games to make them appeal to different types of people, right? For example, there is what's called denying, which is essentially if somebody is about to make some money off of one of your creeps, then you can just kill your creep right there in front of him, and guess what? He now loses out on that bit of cash. So denying is kind of controversial because I remember seeing in chat they were like, that's the stupidest thing ever. Why should you be able to kill your own guys? That's very strategic in my opinion. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some more of the spectator interface here. As you can see, I can just click on the number keys. I'm just kind of going 1 through 9 through 0. There, 1 through 0, and you can see I went through every single hero to see what they're doing. This guy who earlier said that he obviously knows what he's buying, he obviously does not. So we'll go somewhere else. And you see, I can just see from players' perspectives. Now, this isn't the only mode that's available, right? I could click up here, my little handy thing here, because I don't know the keybinds for this. And I could change the camera view to directed. And we'll come back to directed. We'll go to free camera. Free camera, pretty obvious what that does, right? Ooh, this is me moving the thing around. So we'll go to hero chase. Hero chase is just as easy as just saying I want to go and follow this guy around, but I don't really want to see his erratic camera movements and his mouse clicks all over the place. This is more of the, so you can say, I guess, the cinematic feel, the cinematic mode of actually following people around. Another thing too, let's go ahead and switch to Pudge. Come on, Pudge, where you at? Pudge. There we go. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit because there are some comments about how the graphics suck. And I think they're, and they specifically, now, when people say graphics suck, it's like, okay, do you mean stylistically, artistically, the way it's implemented, the polygon count, do you mean the structure of the build, do you mean the actual color palette itself? There's so many different things that can be translated into the graphics suck, right, on the internet. I'm sure you guys agree with me on that. Looking closer at the characters, we can get a good general idea of how well detailed these things are. And honestly, for the characters being how big they are, this is pretty well detailed. You could see the flesh on his skin kind of separate as he, at the stitches, as he walks around and his arms are swinging. You can see the little rings on his back actually, move with every movement that he makes. So there is enough detail here. It's kind of, arguably you could say that the detail is good, right? So maybe you just don't like the actual art style, okay? Look at me, I'm giving like critique lessons here. But, and to each his own, right? Because, I mean, this game definitely looks different from both Heroes of New Earth and considerably different from League of Legends. But again, it's also a far cry from where Dota 1 was. So takes some getting used to, but if you're used to the characters, you play Dota 1 and you're used to the characters, used to the shop, used to all that stuff, you're obviously gonna feel right at home here. Getting back to some of the features that you have available to you as a player, as a spectator, directed mode. We're gonna go ahead and let that run while we go through some of the other stuff. But what directed mode does is it allows you to just basically sit back and it will just randomly go through different characters by itself. It looks like it's already switched a couple times, but all the characters are in one area, so you can't really tell. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think it has. Yeah, it has, actually. Bad example of directed mode. But I don't know if it actually goes to where the action is, but I have seen it sometimes do handoffs. So, like I say, if Stitches here goes near somebody else, it will jump to the other person because they're close by. I've seen it do that a couple times. Again, kind of difficult to tell if it actually follows any kind of action or if it's just totally random. If it's random or if it's action-based, who cares? It's the best way to sit back and just watch a Dota game without actually having to interact with it. So, where can this come in handy? Let's say you're playing another game, right? Let's say you're playing, I don't know, Bejeweled, okay? Because it's a really popular game. And you decide, oh, you know what? I'm going to have Bejeweled full screen on one screen, and then I'm going to have Dota 2 full screen on the other screen. And you know what? It's like watching a MOBA TV. That's exactly what it is. It's like having it over there. You could watch a game. You could hear all the sounds. Everything is all there. And it's literally just like having a TV that's playing one of your favorite games or sports events for you, except for, of course, that it's not very precise on where it's going to be following everyone around. So if they follow around the action where, oh, there's a big fight and boom, it moves the camera over, then directed mode would be great. But as of right now, still beta, and we're still seeing things go into it, so I'm kind of curious to see where they kind of flesh this out and where they take it. Now let's go ahead and go through the control panels and all the F1 keys. So going through F1 is going to go ahead and actually open up all of your Fog of War. So if I go F3, you see how the Fog of War kind of arrives for one side, and then for the other side, and then, oops, and then scoreboard. Look at the map, you can see I'm talking between different fogs of war there, right? Okay, that's good for a spectator mode, especially when you want to see what other players see. You're like, oh, does this player see this happening? Oh, no, he doesn't. Oh my god, he's in trouble, right? And I've also, while doing this, I've opened up the golden XP. You can see the rate of gold earned, how much gold they have, how much XP per minute, etc., etc. It's a very, very quick way of seeing who's the most efficient player, most productive player, I should say. Going through some of the other ones, we have items. You can see what it is they have on them, what it is they have in the stash. You can see what level they are, etc., etc. And then here, holy crap, it looks like this game is getting pretty lopsided here. And you can see exactly where the difference in gold earned, right? That's what this line graph is. How it's shifting over to the Radiant side fairly quickly towards the end here. And I'm going to go ahead and bet with that kind of gold supply, it's going to take a whole lot of skill on the Dire side in order to kind of pick this up and pull it in for a win. We're only 32 minutes into it, though. Most of these games last around 45 minutes to an hour, so there's plenty of time for the other team to come back. That's pretty much it as far as different panels that you can kind of scroll through here. It's pretty much all of them. That is the shop that just opened up on the right hand side again. And you know what? This is what we're looking at here is a solid game that allows you to not only get it and play your favorite MOBA, right? Assuming that Dota is your favorite MOBA, or your second favorite MOBA, or the game you absolutely hate, whichever one of those suits you. You can also get in and just watch it. All I did was I just looked at the watch screen and I found this game. There was 20-something people watching it, so I was like, I want to go see what's going on here, and I'm in. And that is it. So this is probably your most accessible form of learning, because I personally have learned a lot by looking at this, because as they're fighting, for example, I can say, what is this stuff? What does this guy do? Blah, blah, blah. You want to see, right? Isn't that the way it works? When you want to see how to play with a certain character, you actually want to see them play, right? Now, granted, not everybody that you see on here is going to be the best player ever, but at least you get the general idea by going through and looking at some of the things yourself, and you can see exactly what every skill does. Again, going back and forth, Stormhammer, Great Cleave, Warcry, God's Strength. You can see all this stuff, and then you can see it in action. You know, so there's lots of things you could do. The one thing that this is missing, the one thing that would make this the complete over-the-top, absolute best spectator mode in existence. I'm sorry, live spectator mode in existence. If there was some kind of instant replay. If I could look at this and say, holy crap, something just happened and I just missed it. Let's go back 15 seconds, like a 15-second toggle. Let's go, or 10-second toggle, and you hit it, and then you'll go back 10 seconds. So you go to the point of the map where you want to see whatever action is that's happening. Then that right there would make this the absolute best freaking spectator mode that has ever existed for a game. All right, guys, feedback time. What do you guys think about the features that are now implemented in this beta version of Dota 2, right? Let me know comments below, AK Mike B, or Facebook, AK Mike B, Twitter, AK Mike B. Now, a lot of you guys are probably gonna be asking, how do I get into the beta? Well, I'm looking at their website right now, dota2.com, and it says, your time has come. Check your email because the first batch of invites are going out. So a lot of you guys are probably gonna be getting these invites, assuming that you're a big fan of this game. You're likely have already signed up for the beta stuff. And that was posted today, it's 11/3. So I'm kind of curious if you guys got in, what you guys think. Let me know comments below again, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.